The old asylum loomed over them, Ashwood Asylum. It was once a refuge for troubled minds, now a decaying monument to forgotten souls, a place of whispers and shadows. Maya, Ethan, Zoe and Liam stood at the rusted gates. A dare had brought them here, a challenge to spend a night in the abandoned asylum. The legend of Victor, the last patient to disappear, hung heavy in the air.
"I am still here," his message read, found scrawled on a padded cell wall.
The words echoed in their minds, fueling their curiosity and fear. The iron gates groaned open as if warning them to turn back. They stepped inside, the weight of the asylum's history settling upon them like a shroud. A chill wind whistled through the broken windows, carrying the scent of decay and dust. The air inside was heavy, thick with the silence of the forgotten. They walked down a long, dark corridor. The walls were lined with peeling paint and faded medical posters. The floor was littered with debris, remnants of a time long past. Every footstep echoed, amplified in the stillness. Each creak and groan seemed like a ghostly whisper, urging them to turn back. The teenagers exchanged nervous glances, their bravado fading with every step deeper into the asylum's heart. The air grew colder as they descended into the asylum's basement. The stench of mildew and something else, something unidentifiable but foul, filled their nostrils. They stopped at the end of a hallway. A single door, reinforced with metal, stood before them. Scratches deep and frenzied marred its surface as if someone had desperately tried to claw their way out.
"This must be Victor's room,"
Liam whispered, his voice tight with apprehension.
"We should go back,"
she said, her words barely audible above the pounding of her heart.
"We came all this way."
Ethan shook his head, his bravado returning. With a grunt, he kicked in the rotting door. The room was dimly lit by a single flickering light bulb. Handprints, large and smudged, stained the walls. A lone chair sat in the center, its back to them. A sense of unease, of an unseen presence, filled the room. Ethan took a step forward, drawn by a morbid curiosity.
"Ethan, don't!"
Zoe cried out, her voice trembling, but it was too late. The door slammed shut with a resounding boom. The light bulb exploded, plunging the room into absolute darkness. Screams filled the air, echoing in the suffocating blackness, then silence.
Her fingers trembling as she switched on the flashlight.
The weak beam of light cut through the darkness, revealing the empty doorway. Maya's voice was shrill with panic, but only silence answered her. Ethan was gone. S1, Media Group, man missing person, empty space where person was standing, abandoned spot in dark room at stock at distribute_equally. Ethan! Fear clawed at their throats. They scanned the room, their hearts pounding against their ribs. Muddy footprints, large and distinct, marked the floor, leading to a corner obscured by shadows. The handprints on the wall seemed to have multiplied, more numerous, more frantic.
"Look!"
She pointed to the chair, now lying on its side. A piece of fabric ripped from Ethan's shirt was caught on one of its legs. A cold breeze swept through the room, sending shivers down their spines. The air crackled with static and the hair on their arms stood on end, and then they heard it. A laugh, low and chilling, echoed through the room. It wasn't the sound of amusement, but of something darker, something sinister. Terror lent speed to their feet. They scrambled back through the doorway, desperate to escape the cold, mocking laughter that followed them. They ran, breathless and terrified, until they burst out of the asylum and into the night. The cool air stung their lungs, but they didn't slow down, not until they were far away from the looming shadow of Ashwood. They never spoke of that night again. The memory of Ethan's disappearance, the chilling laugh, the feeling of being watched, haunted their dreams. But the legend of Ashwood Asylum lived on. And it was said that if you stood outside the gates at midnight, you could hear a whisper on the wind, a single name repeated over and over. "Ethan! Ethan! Ethan!" No one dared to venture into Ashwood Asylum again. It stood, a decaying monument to fear and the unknown. The questions lingered. What happened to Ethan? Who was the presence in that room? Was Victor truly still there, trapped within the asylum's walls? Ashwood Asylum held its secrets close, a haunting reminder that some mysteries are best left unsolved.